Spending more than 100 minutes outdoors per week can significantly improve health and well-being, studies show. Saturday, WIFR reporter Alyssa Kelly attends an outdoor mindfulness walk to hear why community members choose to embrace nature.
Walkers I talked to shared a variety of reasons on why they decided to participate in a New Year's mindfulness walk at Nature at the Confluence. Several even shared this was not their first walk of the day. The chirp of a bird is just one element connecting community members with nature as they enjoy a brisk walk through Nature at the Confluence.
This is a program that we do regularly throughout the seasons, and it's a time to slow down in the company of other people and in nature.
Executive Director Julie Urim says they started the mindfulness walks because of the benefits that come along with it.
And it's really rewarding for the emotional self, the mental self. We all experience winter sadness and winter blues when we're stuck inside due to the weather. Getting with people and connecting is important, but getting connected with nature and the outdoors is even more important.
Saturday, several community members gathered at Nature at the Confluence, braving the cold and embracing the world around them.
I like meditation because it's so soothing and calming and restful, and with nature and hearing the birds and the owls.
Riam tells me she participates in about 2 to 3 mindfulness walks a month.
Well, it's nice to have the holidays over and be back into a routine.
Brandon Simmons agrees.
This is more getting back into the routine of meditating, just because even with my holidays not busy, you still get out of that routine of doing it, so I just need to get back into it again.
Simmons says the mindfulness walks are more than just about nature.
I'm a big proponent of mental health and really looking over after yourself, so I find these meditation walks really help with that.
Experts say several benefits come along with getting outdoors, like reducing stress, improving mental health and mood, bettering breathing, and experiencing better sleep.
Thank you, Alyssa. Nature at the Confluence says while they do not have another walk on the calendar yet, they plan for one closer to the spring equinox in March.